Good morning everybody, Car Biker here. Just enjoying the quite cool day today. Quite cool and overcast, which is disappointing. I mentioned last year that I was considering having solar panels fitted. Well, I decided to do it. I had a shop around to see what was available, and I ended up choosing Octopus Energy. They are my electricity supplier anyway, and they had some good deals on, decent price, modern equipment, and I thought, yeah, why not? I'm gonna go with Octopus. And it's been a bit of a journey, I have to say. Not all plain sailing. If anything, actually, it's been a pain in the backside, but it's done now. So again, people had a little bit of interest when I talked about it before, so I thought I'll do a little follow-up now that it's done. So let me tell you about the experience first. That was the bit that was the most annoying, if I'm honest. I contacted Octopus in September, get me a quote, and they gave me a pretty decent quote, and they had some offers on, as I said, and I decided I would go with 8 solar panels, which doesn't sound like a huge amount. My neighbour has 14. They actually wanted 16, but 2 didn't fit. But the panels I've got are massive, really big panels. So I ordered 8, and I ordered 2 batteries for a total of 10 kilowatts of storage, with the theory that you can charge the batteries up during the day, and then you can use that power at night, because the more power that you generate that you use yourself, the better. You can sell some of it back to the grid, so it goes and powers your neighbours' houses, and they pay you a few pence. But not your neighbours. The electricity company pays you a few pence. They'll charge your neighbours a few more pence, of course, so they're still making a profit, but not having to actually supply the energy. But the more you can use yourself, the better, because then you're saving on what you would have paid, which is more than you get back. So my current tariff is, I think it's 26 pence per unit, and at the minute my tariff doesn't allow me to sell back to the grid. I've got to wait for a certificate and then get my tariff changed, but it will allow me to sell back to the grid at 15 pence. So obviously we don't bother looking before pulling out, do we? Obviously using the electricity is better than exporting it to the grid and then having to buy back more later on. So 8 panels, 2 batteries, I thought that'd be good, and I put my deposit down in October, and that's where things started to go a little bit awry. I was led to believe that if I placed my order in October, that everything would be installed by the end of the year. Now we're in late May, so they didn't really deliver on the timescales that they suggested, which was my first disappointment. It seems that there's a lot of demand for solar, and they don't have the level of staff, engineers, electricians, all that kind of thing that they need. The next thing that happened was I got, as part of all of the quote and everything, I got a layout for what was going to go on the roof, and I was concerned that they hadn't really measured it properly. They'd never been. They said they were going to send a surveyor, but they'd never been. So I was concerned that I was actually concerned that there would be space for more panels than the 8. And oh yeah, I wanted as many as possible. You know, the theory is these things pay for themselves in 6 or 7 years, and then from then on it's just free electric. Living the Yorkshire dream, free electricity. And I kept saying to them, are you sure about this? Are you sure you've got the sizes right? Because it doesn't seem right. Now, I didn't know how big the panels were, I thought there would be similar size to the neighbour's house, so I was coming at that from a point of view of it seems like you could fit more on, and I don't want to be in a position where I've got a little bit of solar panel coverage on my roof and half the roof is empty. And part of what led me to that concern was they said that at first, before the surveyor comes out, that they actually look at satellite images and things, and they build a 3D model of your house using magic technology. No doubt they'll call it AI nowadays, but some magic technology to look at these satellite images, work out how big your roof is, and then do the layout and everything. And my house is, well, the house is rectangular, but the roof is not a simple kind of like that up-down roof. It's got 3 or 4 sections to it because of the weird way it's been constructed. So I was concerned that the picture that they showed me, like 3D modeler showed me, was just simple up-down roof. It's like, well, that doesn't look like my house, so how can you be sure that it's right? And they're saying, oh, don't worry, it'll be fine. And I was concerned. Eventually the surveyor came and he looked at everything and measured out everything and said that the roof structure was good and all that kind of thing. And I asked him about the number of panels at the time, and he said, well, I'll go and give all my details back to the design team and they'll let you know if there's any changes. And I will write to you within 2 weeks, or they will write to you within 2 weeks with all the details. Didn't happen. Frustratingly, nobody wrote to me, so I was still not sure what was going on. Anyway, that's all done. I thought, well, great, at least we're now on a position where I'm going to get everything installed. I haven't got my paperwork I want for knowing that I have got the right number of panels, but you know, they did say that if it's wrong they'll have more panels with them on the day and they can put more up. The next thing that happened was they rang me up and said, okay, we'd like to do your install. We're going to need to put scaffolding up the side of your house. Fair enough. Will that area be clear? And I said I will talk to my neighbours because it's going on their driveway, which is an imposition for them because they have a caravan on it, but they were very kindly said not a problem, they would move it for us. And as it happened, by the time we got to the point where the solar install was happening, they've actually gone away for a month. So they're not there, which is ideal because that's much less imposition on them having that scaffolding there. So we organised a date for the scaffolding and they said, okay, and the install will be a week and a half later. I said, well, that's a long time to have scaffolding on the neighbour's driveway. Can we do something about that? And they said, oh, well, we'll have a look and we'll see if we can set it up later so that it's not getting in the way for quite as long. I said that would be good. And how long will it be up afterwards? And they said, oh, a couple of days. Just to let you know, the scaffolding is still up now 3 days later, and it's definitely going to be up for another week apparently. Luckily, as I say, they're on holiday. They then rang me 2 weeks before the install. Sorry, they rang me 3 weeks before the install and said, oh, we've got a problem with the scaffolders, so we need to set the scaffolding up a week early. And the scaffolding will then be up basically for a month. Which is absolutely, I said it's absolutely unacceptable. I can't just keep going to my neighbour and can't change this, and I can't basically take their driveway for a month. At which point they actually said, well, if you can't do this, it's going to be probably another 2 months before we can do the install. Which at that point I was quite annoyed, and I said, well, tell you what, if you can't do the install on the date you said you would do it, and you can't do the scaffolding setup on the date you said you would do it, then we'll just cancel the whole thing and I'll have my deposit back. Half an hour later they agreed to do it on the dates as they originally promised. Then it came to the day of the scaffolding, so I was at home waiting for the scaffolding team to turn up and put the scaffolding up. Waited in all day and they never turned up. So I was yeah, I wasn't very impressed. I actually rang Octopus up the next day and said, you know, what's going on? And the scaffolders turned up about an hour later, so scaffolding actually went up a day late rather than a couple of weeks early. And then 3 days ago, or 4 days ago I should say, they turned up to do the installation, and the very first thing they said to me was, the measurements are wrong. We can't fit 8 panels on your roof, and until we work out what's happening next, we're not allowed to do any work at all. Which was very annoying. So I tried to ring Octopus, couldn't get through to them. Tried the number of the person who was organising the install, couldn't get through to him. Just got an answering machine. Tried the designer come salesperson, couldn't get through to him, just got an answering machine. Sent emails, all that kind of thing. At the same time, the engineers were calling their boss, and their boss was giving them grief for saying they needed to get on with the job because otherwise it wouldn't be done in time. A lot of frustration really, and then eventually somebody called me and said, what's going on? I said, well, they've told me it's supposed to be getting 8 panels up there, they can only fit 6. I said, yeah, I think I used the phrase, I've been farted about a lot on this and I'm pretty fed up now. So they asked me what I wanted to do, and I said, well, I want my panels, so I'm going to have only 6 panels, which is a disappointment, but what can I do? And do I now need 2 batteries, or should I just have 1? And they went away and thought about it and suggested that I only have 1. So they said, we'll send you through a new quote. If you sign that off, then the people can start working on the job. So I sat and waited for about 5 minutes, and then I went back to work. And about an hour later the quote came through, and the passing place there, amazing how many people just drive straight past the passing place when you're doing these kind of lanes. It's really bizarre. Then the quote came through, it's absolute rubbish. The panels were on the quote £315 each, and the batteries were £2,000 each. So dropping a battery in 2 panels has to bring the price down by at least 2,630, doesn't it? Because that's the cost of just the equipment, never mind the installation. Anyway, the quote they sent back was £300 cheaper than the quote I'd signed originally. And I actually got a call from them saying, they said, well, the problem is the prices have gone up. And I said, the problem with that is, that's your problem, not mine. I'll tell you what the maximum price I'm going to pay is, and either, you know, we do it for that or less, or you go home. That was another 20 minutes to come back to me and say, yes, we'll do it for that price. And they finally got the job going again. From that point onwards, nicely, everything worked. The 3 guys who came and did the job were really good. We furnished them with coffee and tea and biscuits, and they were more than happy with that. Seems to have done a really good job. Hopefully it's not going to fall off the roof, or the batteries won't fall off the walls or anything. Everything looks really neat. Everything is working. So the actual system is really, really good. The experience that I had was pretty poor. And talking to the chaps who came and did the job, I think it seems like this isn't uncommon. I don't think it's every time, but I don't think it's uncommon that they're getting these problems with the designs not being quite right and the job's being delayed because of it. They seemed quite annoyed about having to basically stand around for about half a day doing nothing, knowing that they'd have to make that time up or work late or whatever to get the job finished. But in terms of the actual system, it's an N-phase battery. I can't remember the name of the panels, but one good thing about the delay, strangely it did work out. The panels that I originally ordered had the ability to generate, I think they said, something like 390 watts each. And the panels that I ended up with are 445. They said that those panels that they were doing back in October, they don't do anymore. So I got a more modern panel for the same price. So that was good. And the first day, it was kind of overcast like this when they turned them on, and they gave me the little link to go and get the app, and I downloaded the app so you can see what the system's doing. And even when it was overcast like this, it was generating about 700 watts. And then it cleared up and brightened up a little bit later, and it peaked at 2.2 kilowatts being generated, which is quite good. Because it isn't even the height of summer yet. I mean, it is getting closer, about a month away from the longest day now, so still spring, but certainly at the brighter time of the year. Yesterday was the first full day where there was nothing going on that could affect it, because after the first day and the install, it had to fill up the battery from the grid and calibrate it and so on. So yesterday was the first full day where it was just generating normally, charging and discharging the battery normally, and it was amazing. We generated 14 kilowatts of energy, some of which went back to the grid, annoyingly, because, as I said, I'm not on the tariff that will pay me for it yet, so that's just wasted. So I noticed that by lunchtime the battery was full, and I was putting out at that point 2 kilowatts just to the grid, or rather I was generating 2 kilowatts, sorry, 1.7 was going to the grid and 300 watts was running the house. So I had to think on my feet and be all Yorkshire and think, what can I do? So I turned the immersion heater on in the hot water tank, and it started discharging the battery as well as using the solar panels. So I had the immersion heater on for 2 hours and used 6.5 kilowatt hours of energy doing that without taking anything from the grid at all, which was fantastic. But by that point my hot water was at full temperature, so I couldn't do that anymore. So we did 2 washes. We put the dishwasher on. We cooked a meal in the electric oven. And at the end of that, it's like, well, I've kind of run out of things I can do, so I got the ice maker out and started making ice. So we've got a freezer full of ice. But I suppose in a way I saved some gas as well, because the gas didn't need to heat up the hot water in the same way. So it was like a big hot water battery, in the same way I guess that the ice in my freezer is now a big ice battery. I mean, it's not to do this all year round. I'm told it will generate all year round, but it may well be that when we get to winter it'll be like the overcast bit where it was generating, you know, 700 watts or something, and it might only do that for 6 or 7 hours in a day or something like that. But even so, that's probably going to cover a lot of our needs. And once we've got this tariff sorted out, the stuff that we are paying for in winter, a lot of that will be offset in summer. So definitely recommend it if you can have it. If you've got a house that'll support it, definitely recommend the system. I could recommend, I think, the installers at Octopus, but I think there was a lot left to be desired on the actual work up to that point of organising everything. Anyway, I thought I'd let you know about that. It's been a long time since I talked about it last, probably a year. Certainly by the time this video goes up, it'll probably be a year. But you know, if you can share these experiences with people, it's might come in helpful for somebody who's out there who's thinking of doing this. Anyway, I shall shut up now. I'll say thank you for watching, everyone. Ride safe, and I'll talk to you all again soon.